Hello students, today we are going to read about a new chapter, that is some natural phenomena, chapter number 15 in your book. In class 7th, you must have learnt about storms and cyclones. We know that storms and cyclones can cause a lot of damage to human life and property. We also learned that we can protect ourselves from these destructive phenomena to some extent. In this chapter, we will discuss about two other destructive natural phenomena. Those are lightning and earthquake. So first of all, we are going to read about lightning. Here in this slide, you can see the picture of lightning. You might have seen electric sparks on an electric pole when wires become loose or when a plug is loose in the sockets. Sometimes we notice flashes of light all over the sky during rain and thunderstorm. This natural phenomenon is called lightning. Lightning is also an electric spark but on a huge scale. Now, why does this lightning occur? Lightning occurs because of the massive electric charge flowing from one part of the cloud to another, or from a cloud to the ground. To understand how this happens, first of all, we have to learn about electric charges. First of all, we will read about charging by rubbing. For this, we have to perform a very simple activity. We have to take a balloon and we have to fill it with air. Now we have to rub this inflated balloon with a woolen material and place it against a wall. You will see that the balloon sticks to the wall as it is seen in the slide. To read about this, first of all, we have to read about charging. Now for this, let us perform a simple activity. We have to take a balloon and fill it with air. Now rub this inflated balloon with the woolen material and place it against a wall. You will see that the balloon sticks to the wall as it is shown in the slide. When we rub the balloon against a woolen material, it produces a kind of force in it which can attract as well as repel certain objects. This force is called the electrostatic force. The balloon is said to be electrically charged when it is rubbed by a woolen material because they acquire electric charge. So, a body having electric charge on it is called a charged body. When we talk about charging, so there are two types of electric charges. One is the positive charge and the second one is the negative charge. The electric charge on a glass rod when it is rubbed with a silk cloth is considered as positive, and the electric charge on an ebonite rod when rubbed with fur or wool is considered as negative charge. Scientist Benjamin Franklin discovered that there are two kinds of electric charges, positive and negative. Like charges repel and unlike charges attract each other. Now we will study about this. To show that like charges repel each other, things needed are two glass rods, two ebonite rods, a piece of silk cloth, a piece of fur, a wooden stand and a piece of silk thread. First of all, there is part A. We have to rub a glass rod with a piece of silk and suspend it with a silk thread to a stand as shown in the figure. Now bring another glass rod rubbed with silk cloth near the suspended rod. Now what do you observe? You observe that the suspended glass rod moves away from the other glass rod. In this case, both the rods are of the same material, that is glass, and both of them are rubbed with silk cloth. So their electric charges are of the same type and they repel each other. Now the second part. Rub an ebonite rod with fur and hang it with a silk thread to the stand as shown in figure. Rub another ebonite rod with fur and bring it close to the suspended charged ebonite rod. Now we will observe that the suspended ebonite rod moves away from the other ebonite rod. Now why do this happens? Because both the rods are of the same material, that is ebonite, and both of them were rubbed with fur. So their electric charges are of the same type and they repel each other. Now what is the conclusion about this? The conclusion is that similar charges repel each other, or like charges repel each other. Now we will study about an activity, or we will do an activity which shows that unlike charges attract each other. For that we need a glass rod, a piece of silk cloth, a wooden stand, a piece of silk thread, an ebonite rod and a piece of fur. Now suspend a glass rod rubbed with silk cloth to the stand using a silk thread. Bring an ebonite rod rubbed with fur near the suspended rod. Now what do you observe? You observe that the suspended glass rod gets attracted towards the ebonite rod. Why does this happen? It happens because the two rods are of different material, ebonite and glass, and they were rubbed with different materials, that is fur and silk. So their electric charges must be different. Now what is the conclusion by this activity? The conclusion is this, that the oppositely charged glass and ebonite rod attract each other. We conclude that unlike charges attract each other. Here you must remember that repulsion is the sure test of electrification. Now the charges can also be transferred. So for that we have to understand the concept of transfer of charges. So we will read about the gold leaf electroscope. In the slide you are seeing the diagram of an electroscope which is known as gold leaf electroscope. Now what is an electroscope? An electroscope is an instrument used for detecting electrical charge and its nature on the body. A gold leaf electroscope consists of a brass rod which passes through a rubber stopper in a glass jar. The top end of the brass rod carries a brass disc and the lower end carries two thin gold leaves such that they hang parallel to each other. The glass jar protects the gold leaves from the outside air currents. The lower part of the glass jar in the interior is surrounded by a metal foil. When the electroscope is used, the metal foil is earthed. This increases the sensitivity of the electroscope. Some electroscopes have strips of silver, copper, aluminium or brass instead of gold. To know how this electroscope works, let us perform an experiment. We should have a gold leaf electroscope, a glass rod and a piece of silk cloth. Now we have to rub the glass rod against a silk cloth to get the charged glass rod. Take a gold leaf electroscope in which the leaves of the electroscope is initially folded. Bring the charged glass rod in contact with the brass disc of the electroscope. You will see on touching the glass rod with the brass disc, the gold leaves diverge. What does this show? It shows that the charged glass rod touches the brass disc receives charge. This charge flows along the brass rod to the gold leaves. We already know that the metals are good conductors of electricity. The gold leaves carrying similar charges repel each other and therefore become wide open. Now we will read about lightning and thunder. Cloud contains tiny crystals of ice and droplets of water which move against each other, which causes huge amount of charge to build up in the clouds. Ordinarily, nothing happens due to this charge buildup because air does not conduct the charge from the clouds. But when the accumulation of the charge is great and the insulation of air breaks and the charge jump from one cloud to another through the air. The passage of electric current in air due to movement of electric charge is called electric discharge. The sudden rush of electric charge heats up the air And in this process, a huge amount of energy is released in the form of light and heat. The loud sound produced during lightning is called thunder. Now about lightning, you are seeing in this slide the accumulation of charges. A rapid flow of electric charge through the air between two oppositely charged clouds, seen as in an intense spark of electricity in the sky, is called lightning. An electric discharge or lightning can occur not only between two clouds but also between the charged cloud and the earth. Okay students, this is all for today. We will continue in the next video.